We're going to attempt to hill up this corn today. I've got my hiller on, and some of this corn will be able to hill it with no problem. Some of it's pretty small. Down here on this wet end, it's really stunted its growth. But man, up yonder where it drained good, it's almost too tall to get the tractor over. If I don't get it healed now, I'll have to do it by hand. You know, it's getting too tall to get the tractor over. Like to do it, maybe run over the hill up the sunflowers just a touch, not much. But yeah, I'm gonna try to heal some of this today. Some of it I'm gonna have to work some of the grass out by hand, because grass is getting tall as the corn is there in places. It has rained too much, and I didn't get to fertilize like I wanted. I've only got 3 trips of fertilizer on it. 3 times I've fertilized it. I wanted to do 4, but corn's getting too tall. It's got to be healed now, or I ain't gonna get it healed. You know, if I waited another week, I fertilized yesterday. If I waited another week or 10 days, then I wouldn't be able to do any of this. I'd have to do it all by hand. So we're gonna do what we can today and see how it goes. Now we heal this up for two reasons basically. One is it'll help smother the grass out. We'll pile it up there and cover that grass up, and it'll help smother that grass out. But some of these smaller plants, I got to dig them back out because they'll definitely smother them out too. But number two is another reason is as the corn stalk grows and gets taller, it starts putting out roots on the side that goes down and kind of spreads out, covers them up, and then when that corn gets up, starting getting pretty tall, and you get a hard wind, well, that wind will just blow it over. So this heel here, when we heel this corn up, will help keep the stalks from being blown over by the wind. But now I get to go through here and dig out some of the little ones and pull out some of the grass that it didn't cover. I won't ever make this mistake again. I'll cultivate this stuff and then rake the dirt in. Cover up this stuff when it's little.
That's a good idea.
Never do this again. This was a mistake. There. That's a big, and that's that big rock, I think. Yeah. I'm getting that nut. Now that's a big rock, a big one. I'll have to jackhammer that one up, I think. let's go. I need to go through here now with the hoe. I covered up a little one up in there. I need to get them little ones out. I need to take director down in closer to the stalks and straighten up any that I've been over up there where it's at all. And we'll call the corn healed. And it's a little more work than I wanted. Had too much grass in those rows and had to dig that stuff out by hand. I'll not make that mistake ever again. I'll cover that stuff up when I cultivate where it ain't quite so bad. It's too little to cultivate sometimes, or even heal until it gets big like this, or you cover it up. But yeah, I'll take a hoe in there and I'll work it out. Get that grass covered up in there before I let it get that bad again. Yeah, I gotta get out the hoe now or finish up here. Okay, we got our corn all healed up. Got the grass dug out of it or covered up. And so corn's done. I want to talk about how a lot of people want to tell me that I planted my corn too thick. And they're probably right. See, this corn here is probably too thickly populated here. But I had last year I didn't get a good stand and corn did not pollinate well. So this year I changed my sprockets on my planter so I could get a heavier population. Doing so, I got a better stand of corn this year than I did last. And so, you know, I probably shouldn't have changed that sprocket. But as this corn grows up and it gets tall here and it starts to put tassels on the top and the ears starting to put out silk. Well, what that is, this corn, that's the tassels at the top of the corn is the male part of the plant, and the silk is the female part of the plant. So that the pollen on this stuff is all wind, basically wind driven. And so unless plants are close enough together, they may not get pollinated. And that's the problem I had last year. I didn't have a good stand, and the ears didn't get pollinated well. They were some of the ears didn't have hardly any corn on the cob. It was none, and that was from poor pollination. So this year, whether it's right or wrong, I increased my seed population of my seeds, which I think I did too much. I need to change it back because I did get a good stand this year. And if I had less seeds, well, I may have been better off. But see, normal they recommend for corn, the row width is 30 to 36 inches wide. Well, I'm planting mine with a one-row cultivator, a one-row planter, and basically I'm putting these rows this way, probably 4 feet apart. Well, if 4 feet apart, then they're not going to get pollination from one row to the other real well. So I wanted a heavier population to try to increase the pollination of these corn plants a little better. Ooh, wind's blowing. Hope I didn't mess up. But that's the idea. That's why my corn is thicker than what it really should be. They'll tell you put them about a foot apart. Some of these I got are a couple of inches. Some of them are, further a foot apart like it's supposed to be. A lot of my corn is too close, and that's the reason it's too close. They say the reason they want you to separate it or get your corn further apart is they say that if it's too close together, it won't get the ears will be small, and the reason that is the plant don't get enough nutrients to provide for all of these plants if they get too full. Well, that's why I'm really throwing the nitrogen to it, trying to give it enough nutrients to produce good ears on these plants that's planted too close. It's an experiment. We'll see how it goes. I'm not real pleased with a lot of the corn. This end of the garden here where it got drowned, it was really stunted in growth. You know, corn requires a well-drained soil, and we didn't get that. It got pretty wet. It got, you know, it stunted its growth, drowned some of it out. But we're going to see how it does this year. It's been an experiment, been a new adventure for me. So, new variety. We'll see how it all works out. Y'all have a good day. Please like and subscribe. Have a good day. Bye.